Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Holt from Exodus and formerly from Slayer, and you're listening to The Razor's Edge.
Captain Razor's Edge, and you were Tribal Ghost have just got off stage in Birmingham. How are you?
We're doing amazing, yeah. Really fun. Like, this is our 7th show out of 10 with a Feast on Sorrow with a Mountain Caller, and it's like our first ever sort of full UK tour. So yeah, going really well, and yeah, we're sort of we've actually got a day off tomorrow because our next show's in Brighton. We're actually travelling straight from Birmingham down to Brighton after the show and having a full day off at home, which we're all really looking forward to. Yeah.
So last time we spoke to you was Bloodstock, and things seems to have snowballed a little bit. So what has been going on for you guys?
So I mean, one of the biggest things was just before Bloodstock we got offered this tour, but it was under very strict embargo. So we'll finally able to announce that in about October time. And then we've been announced for Leicester, Radar Festival.
Fab.
Yeah, so that's just come out, must have been last week, I think, that came out. We got that off the back of our False Gods release. That was really good. Obviously released our new single False Gods and our first and the official music video for that, which was directed by Theodore Swadling, who's sort of known for his work with Angel Number, Boston Manor, looks like other amazing artists, and we're so proud of that video. What else has been going on? Just lots of exciting things, particularly on this tour. We've had a lot of people come to the shows that are potentially interested in working with us, but so we've got to very early days, but this tour has been very successful for us in terms of getting us out there to people who may not have heard of us before, especially, and of course, I forgot to mention, with False Gods we were track of the week for Alex Holcomb's BBC introducing Rock on Radio 1. She played us again this week as well. So everything's really starting to kick off at the moment.
And this is a good tour, I think, for you guys to be on. I mean, you've got Urne, Mountain Caller, and yourselves.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of talk about it at the moment. I think it's been the best year for British metal releases.
Oh, yeah.
And playing at festivals. And we need promoters to kind of take a chance, actually, and put those smaller bands on. Because we need them. We need you guys to come through and take over from who's going to be retiring. It's a circle, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's one of those things where you almost start to see it a lot better, and it's one of those things like the reason why we love Bloodstock so much is because they really champion new artists and especially with performers like the to the masses, and but they actually actively search for bands that may not have had the opportunity just because of industry being all about contacts and things like that. So they actually then to start that's how we got to where we were. Like when we did New Blood stage, Veterans Masses won that. Then that's how we took off. That's the only way we could have done it really at that point.
And you've used it as a springboard, which is completely what you've got to do. You can't just play Bloodstock and go home and wait for the offers, can you?
Oh no, absolutely. We worked really hard, and both Bloodstocks as well. Like we've worked really hard across the weekend, and then you just sort of beyond it, and we joke about it today. It's like having. At the moment, it's like having 2 full-time jobs. Yeah. It is a full-time job in itself to all the kind of promotion and contacts and things, and all the kind of behind-the-scenes work can take just as much as the sort of writing, recording, and performing kind of process, and if not more, because we're very lucky that the music industry is in a way a lot more accessible. Now, you can literally build your own home studio and get to work, but because there's so many people doing it, it's so saturated, and it makes it really hard to be heard unless you put in the kind of hours in terms of industry and building a following and stuff like that. And also with labels and things, they play it super safe, so they won't go for you until you're almost massive in your own right. You almost don't need them, and that's when they're like, oh, we're interested now. So. It's just a lot of work as independent artists, but we love it. So even though it's a lot of time, a lot of effort, it doesn't really feel like work. It's stuff that we actually really want to do.
Do you not feel sometimes though the flip side of that accessibility is it can be so disposable as well?
Yes,
big thing today, gone tomorrow.
It is that thing. We've been so thankful for the response we've had on False Gods and so far, but we know that's gonna burn bright, and then go out again, and everyone's just like, when's your next release? And we've got some things in the works, but we want to make sure it's released right rather than rush anything.
So you've got to be proud of it as an artist.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, really, really proud of that song. We're so proud of the video. It's exactly what we wanted, and we're just so happy we were able to work with Theodore and create something as of that level. Like, we never thought that would be possible at this stage, just because he's such a brilliant director and has the right contacts to make the right team. So very fortunate for that.
It is really good. And how do you think things are changing? Because obviously, as a young woman,
yes,
the industry can split people up and chew them out, especially of a certain gender.
Yes, absolutely.
And sometimes I feel we think we're improving, and then you read something or something happens at a gig, or you hear a story from someone, and it feels like we've got them back 10 steps again, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think at the moment we're very lucky that we have lots of amazing women in the metal scene, and they're being championed at the moment, which I love, and that's great.
Well, the bill here.
Yes, exactly. Like being able to play with Mountain Cooler, and that's just amazing. I think Joe and the guys put an amazing tour together, and we're so thankful, and it's so great to see that the championing diversity when they put these together. And I do, but I remember saying, I think it was around International Women's Day, and I know a lot of bands posted and stuff like that, and I was like, I don't want to post, I feel really jaded, I was just sort of thinking about, as a woman, all the women I know in music are incredible, and they're still really small. It's base level for women to perform and say they're a kind of a part of the industry, whether it be grassroots or up. They have to be of an exceptional level.
The bar's almost higher in some instances, isn't it?
And that's why great, so many women being championed in the metal scene, but it's because there's no other choice. If you want to do it, you have to be just perfection. But then it goes beyond that. Like a guy can go on stage in jeans and a t-shirt and be treated like a god, but then there's so many elements. For women have to look the part, they have to present themselves in a certain way, and it's stuff like that which I think I sometimes struggle with, and especially when you get comparisons or and stuff like that, and then getting pigeonholed with labels or what I like to call lazy journalism, which I've had a few times.
Female fronted band.
Yeah, female fronted band. Oh, you're a lady that sings clean. You're like Evanescence, and don't get me wrong, I love Evanescence, they're great, but they're not a direct influence for my singing or performance style or anything, but it's just, people go to these kind of quite dated or just really easy kind of examples.
And I think sometimes, almost the industry only wants only one woman in the village, so it's almost like they make those comparisons as almost wanting to not pit people against each other, but kind of make you work harder when you're already working harder than you ever will.
Yeah.
Because you've got to get to that level.
Yeah.
It's interesting times, certainly, and I'm hoping things start to change, because obviously there's a lot more women involved now, isn't there? From PRs to editors to bands, so it is changing slowly.
Absolutely. No, I think it is, and it's really, really exciting to see. Obviously, we've got a fair bit of work to do.
So everyone's talking about album of the year. It's December. Everybody's putting albums of the year out. I'm going to ask you, what have you been listening to this year, and what should we be listening to in your recommendation?
Well, obviously I'm going to say you need to listen to Feast on Sorrow. It is an incredible album, and it comes with such a heartfelt, passionate message. I remember
my top 5.
Absolutely. I remember reading an article, an interview with Joe, and he kind of explained the origins of the kind of big events that kind of happened when he started writing his album. I remember just crying, and I remember just because it just hit such a human nerve of love and loss and things, and I've also been personally affected by Alzheimer's in my family as well. It's just with my grandparents kind of level, so I kind of understand kind of how horrific that disease is, and so I remember it just comes to. Yeah, it's just such a human thing.
We can relate to it. It's not, hey, I'm driving in my car.
Oh yeah, no, they really just spoke. I think there's a lot of I love like music with a message, and I love music that really comes from a place and a real story. There's a lot of music out there that can just be like, oh, I'm so cool, oh, I'm bad and dangerous, and it's like, and I'm like, that's great, but it doesn't really say anything, and it's just
superficial, maybe.
yes, very, yeah. I love like superficial music when it's ironic, so I love like hyperpop and things like that. But I think when it comes to my metal, I like it heartfelt and I like it deeper. And Urne's album is an amazing example of that. Other stuff I've been listening to that I love would be I'm just trying to think, because I listen to like a lot of singles and things and like bring them together to like a weird mishmash. I love so many various artists, but
it's good that there is so much to listen to anyway, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think what one brings to mind is Urne. It's like a whole complete record, which I really think is amazing.
So we'll look forward to seeing what you guys pull out of the bag for 24, yeah?
Oh yes, we've got some things planned. We can't say too much, but we're going to hopefully have some quite big announcements in the spring.
Cool.
So yeah, stay tuned. We're playing Takedown Festival in April. We've got quite a few other festivals as well, like I said, like Uprising, Radar. We've also got Northlands Rocks as well, and the plan is to try and do as many festivals and shows as we can, just because we've had such a great reception live, and I think that's the way people connect to us most, is seeing us in person. So we're going to be gigging a lot, and yeah, hopefully we'll have some more fun things to talk about.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you keep up to date with future episodes by subscribing to our channels. For more information on this podcast, or for all the latest music news, reviews, interviews and more, head over to our website, www.therazorsedge.rocks.